Okay, like I told you guys, for those of you that saw my post, since I got the community posts available on YouTube, which is fantastic since I can actually, post updates to you guys without posting videos, we're going to be installing this gasket. And just so I can show you guys some comparison here, here's the old one that literally blew up, and to the new one. So, the issue was the fact that on the R154s, there's actually a little grommet that goes between these holes here. When you go to tighten it down on the transmission, when you tighten it down, since this is rubber, it will never tighten. Like, you can never tighten the bolt, because the rubber will always be there. It'll try to expand and try to clamp down as far as it can go. So when you go to clamp it, it doesn't clamp, so the bolts loosen themselves, and the shifter housing moves back and forth, and that was my issue. So whenever I went to tighten it down, I tightened it down a lot, and it actually squished the gasket enough to where it pinched it, and it squeezed it and broke it in half, so I blew all my fluid everywhere. What I have actually done here is, I have some ferrules. I can't remember what size they are. I think they're 5/16 ferrules. And the point of this is to where, since this is solid, it'll press against the shifter housing, and then press against the transmission, and then I'm actually gonna sand it down just enough to where it's smaller than this gasket here. And then whenever I go to tighten it down, it'll squish, but as soon as it butts up against this ferrule, it'll be solid, so I'll be able to tighten it. And I'll actually be able to tighten the bolts tight. So that is the plan. I've got a whole bunch of ferrules, and I'm gonna take them on, put them on sandpaper. They grind down really fast since they're brass, and they're quite bigger than the bolt itself. So I'm hoping that they don't do what they're supposed to do and grip on my bolt. Because if it does that, then oh man, I don't know what I'll do then. Because that would just suck. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and I'm gonna get into this. I probably won't be filming much because, is this even focusing? I probably won't be filming this much because I'm in a tight spot. Not much I can do under here. You guys can see the oil. It's freaking shitty. It's very, very shitty. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw this all together, and then I'll probably go drive it to see how it feels. Because, just a nighttime cruise. I'll put the GoPro on the window or first person. Okay, so basically the objective of this is actually, it's pretty useful. I got this from O'Reilly's, of course. And there's just that strip right there I can use to sand on. But the objective is to actually, to get this ferrule here fairly short. I actually have a few of them. They were really cheap. Okay, so this is the actual size that they are. You guys can see. And you guys can actually see how much I sanded it down. It actually sands down pretty fast. So, I mean, if I just hold this, I can just sand it down just like this. It literally does sand down really, really fast. And I just got to do 6 of these. The objective is to get this ferrule to be just as thick as the gasket here. And the issue with mine is typically you will find these raised points here, and they are actually supposed to go into the shifter housing, but my shifter housing is a Gen 1 excessive shifter housing, so the holes for the bolts are not big enough for these seats. So I actually have to cut mine off, which it really sucks, but it is what it is, and it has to be done. And I want to make this video to show you guys because I did not feel like spending $50 or 60 bucks, or maybe it was 70 on the original grommets that are supposed to fit this. They're freaking expensive, and I couldn't justify that. So, I mean, these are like 50 cents a piece, and the sandpaper's $6. You can make your own, and they'll still function the same. It's just not going to be pretty like the, aftermarket ones, or the ones that are OEM. But basically, this is to budget build your gasket for the shifter housing without using those grommets that are from Drift Motion that are outrageously priced. Okay, so ideally you want these to be about a 1/16 of an inch. So basically just gonna grind these guys down until they're about that width, and you'll be pretty much good to go. So if you guys are doing this, just get some 5/16. Let me just make sure what these are. These 5/16. Oh, they're 3/8. My bad. Here's a part number for you if you guys actually think about doing this and not having to go buy new ones, because these things are expensive. So yeah, 1/16 of an inch, kind of rub them down to about that small. We'll be good to go. All right, so I got all the ferrules ground down to 16. I went ahead and put them all in because this is just how it's gonna be. I'll put it in and bolt it down. If you guys have a second generation or whatever generation it is of the excessive shifter, do not cut these off because these will fit. You'll just have to do something else with the barrels. I believe that if it does fit like that, if it does fit without cutting those, you don't even have to mess with the ferrules. You just gotta check and make sure. You don't want them to be poking out both sides. On this side here, there's an indentation that you can see, so I've got some room there for it to squish, and these are brass too, so they're going to bend and try to crimp when I tighten it down anyways. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go throw this in the car and go for a drive. Alright boys, so it is fixed and it works. Everything I showed you in the video I have done to my own, and I can't even believe how amazing this shifter is. It's like so perfect. I am so impressed. Like, I can't even believe how easy the gears. Like, it's like an entire new shifter. What are you? Oh, alright. Does Durango want some? I think it's an RT, guys. Oh, it's just a GT. I don't know what that means, but I think it's slow. Well, the gears work. Everything works pretty good. Drive this car at night, so I always forget what my brights look like. See what they look like? Holy shit! I could light up the whole damn planet with these! Oh my god! I wish I had these in my daily. I forgot I wanted to put all the best stuff in my 240. Including stuff that I would never use, like headlights. So yeah, totally been looking into a dog box R154. The idea of never using my clutch again while running gears is a fantastic idea. Not only would my clutch hardly ever wear out, it would not attempt to slip because I'm not pushing the clutch. It's always engaged. I'm just letting the throttle off and throwing gears. Babies burned. Alright. I just want to see what happens in a fifth gear. That time, but I don't know if it's coming from my trans or what. God damn it, I really hope it's not leaking from where I think it is. I do not want to fix that again. Maybe it's just excessive whatever's burning, because it's not anywhere near as bad as it was before. Okay, I'm gonna hop right out and check her out and see what happens. Yeah, that was over 30 pounds of boost. Must have been just excessive, guys, because I'm not leaking. Hell yeah! Fifth gear, guys. I think my clutch slipped. Pretty sure it slipped. That freaking sucks. I really hope that's not the case. That's not good. That's not good at all, guys. Well, anyways, drop a like for the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. And comment, let me know what you think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.